All right, so hi, welcome back to another one of my videos. Today I wanted to show you that I matched my wall. Just kidding. I wanted to talk about Polish Pickup and specifically the fun events that they have. So Polish Pickup is a monthly event that happens where creators come together, mainly nail polish creators, but there's also people who create lotions or sugar scrubs or stamping plates who participate in this event each month. They create a product kind of around a theme for the month, so that'd be like animals, video games, cartoons. They've had a ton of different themes, but they're only open for a few days each month. So they open up their shop for wish listing the Saturday before the first Friday of the month, which I know is kind of like hard to think about, so I have to look at a calendar always. But yeah, the first Friday of the month is when they open up the shop for people to actually start purchasing. So I have a few tips on how to start shopping these upcoming events, and let's get into that. Before I talk about Polish Pickup Rewind in too much depth, I also want to talk about another one of their events that I find exciting, which is Overstock. And unfortunately, they just did one of their Overstock releases back in, I think it was February, and that's when they have excess polish from previous events and they relist it on their site. And if you can get your hands on some of those polishes, sometimes that's very exciting, because sometimes I try to limit how many polishes I get per month, and it gives me a chance to have a second opportunity to get the ones that I was eyeing. That said, from the research that I've done, it doesn't seem like there's a very fixed schedule on when they do these releases. It seems like sometimes they do it once or twice a year. So just keep your eyes peeled for it. They announce it in their Facebook group when they do push new items to the Overstock site. Polish Pickup Rewind is kind of similar in concept, because it gives you a second opportunity to grab one of the nail polishes that maybe you didn't get the opportunity to pick up before. Or you could just be restocking something that you have low. And these are generally the most popular nail polishes that the creators have made throughout the past couple of years. So it helps me, because not always do I pick up what's most popular, and then I see people post pictures of it on Instagram and Facebook, and I'm like, oh wait, now that I've seen it in this lighting, now I really feel like I did miss out on getting it. So it does give a second opportunity to grab one of their polishes that I might have missed out on before. Polish Pickup opens up their shops every single first Friday, and they open up their website for wish listing on the Sunday before, but again, you can't buy during that opportunity. It's just a good idea if you start like looking through the site and getting an idea of what you want. So for Polish Pickup Rewind, I believe they're supposed to have the wish listing shop, or the shop open for wish listing, the 30th of June, and then the shop will go live for orders July 5th. Now, there are a few things that you could do to prepare for Polish Pickup Rewind. One thing that I would start by doing is following your favorite makers' Facebook groups to get in there and vote on your favorite polish for them to bring back, because they usually have a poll that they invite people to fill out. I do think a lot of the makers at this point, though, might be done polling, but you could try your luck. I didn't necessarily look through all of the makers. I mainly just looked at one, and that was Polish for Days, because I was really hoping they bring it back Goblins and Ghouls, or the Ghosts and Goblins. I'm too dyslexic to remember which it is, and they are, so I'm super excited about that. Another one of my suggestions is to follow Polish Pickup's Facebook group. I'll put a link to that one in the video description, because usually at the end of June, people start posting videos and photos of the polishes that they're going to be bringing back for the event. So that's a good opportunity for you to start scoping out what type of polish you might be wanting to pick up. I personally really love looking at the videos more than I do the photos. I know technically you can edit videos, but I feel like people are more likely to edit photos, so having a video is kind of nice. And I also just like seeing how on video a polish might shift in different lightings. So I'll always be scoping out those videos that people post. So normally I like to limit myself to 3 polishes because shipping does get more expensive the more you order. So I think the cutoff point on like the cheaper shipping is 3 polishes, so that makes a good cap for myself. I think it's a good idea to set a limit, but I might be tempted to buy a little bit more for Polish Pickup Rewind. So we'll see, but it's a good idea to go into it with a budget already in mind on how much you want to spend for this event. Again, I would suggest 3, but just try your best. So I normally start wishlisting as soon as the site is open for wishlisting that should again be June 30th. So that way I could kind of whittle down my list throughout the week and kind of pick out like, oh, what do I already have something similar? Is this something that's doable? Is there something similar in the market? So I would suggest taking the time to kind of refine what you want before Friday. Lastly, I would suggest setting an alarm. I know a lot of these recommendations are the same as my how to shop the Mooncat sale video, and setting an alarm is, I would say, especially crucial for shopping with Polish Pickup Rewind because they, again, are bringing back people's favorites for this. So I have a feeling that a lot of polishes are going to get snatched up pretty quickly. Hopefully there's a large cap for them, because if anyone keeps me from getting Goblins and Ghouls, I will be upset. I know I already have blue shimmery polishes, but I have a problem, and that one is stunning. The videos that I've seen of that one just are so beautiful, so I need to get my hands on it. But anyways, let me show you some swatches of polishes that I've picked up over the past year, and I'm going to be starting this time actually from my least favorite to my most favorite, and I'm putting that in air quotes because these are all still beautiful polishes. But if I was to have one of them come back for Polish Pickup Rewind, this is the order of how I prioritize it if they could bring those back. This is Rogues Lacquer's Ghost Town, and this was one of their polishes that they came out, I think, in September. Yep, September. Which was when they encouraged makers to make more Halloween-inspired polishes. I think it was supposed to be themed around haunted locations, if I remember correctly. I actually did pick this one up from Polish Pickup Overstock. I was so happy to find it there because this is one of the polishes that I wanted to grab, but there was so many awesome polishes coming out during that time for Halloween, and I'm a big Halloween lover, so I was trying to restrain myself, and I was so happy to get a second chance at this polish. It is a gray, almost with a green undertone base with black flakies and this beautiful amber color as well. I am going to put on KB Shimmer's Quick Dry Top Coat over all these swatches, but I figured I'd just show you once and you get the point. So putting a top coat on, you probably don't really care to see that for the rest of the swatches. When the light hits this polish just right and it makes those glowy flakies pop, oh, it is stunning. Rogue Lacquer really knows how to make a good flaky bomb. Next, I have Linbees Designs Tentacool. It is a purple base with a bright blue shimmer that runs through it. I think it looks pretty different in the bottle than it does on the nail. That said, I've only done 2 coats of it on my nail, and as you can see here, it does look pretty different. I should mention that I did do 2 coats for all of these swatches. You probably could do a third with this one and it would just make it a lot more deeper. I actually bought this one hoping that it would be close to Goblins and Ghoulies, but I don't think it looks quite right. If anyone feels differently, please in the comments shame me for considering buying Goblins and Ghoulies. I should mention that when a polish does get kind of popular, sometimes makers will create their own versions of it under a different name, of course, because, I mean, it's what the people want and they're gonna deliver. So if you ever feel FOMO over missing a particular polish, just wait and I'm sure something else will pop up on the market. Anyways, this polish is just so stunning, especially on camera. The blue really pops on camera. Sometimes I like to wear these polishes a little bit on the sheer side, but as you can tell, it's not patchy even though it's sheer. I felt like the skittle on this hand turned out pretty good. Next, I have Sassy Sauces. Let me ask you a question. This is another one that I was able to grab during the Overstock release they did earlier this year. This was another Halloween polish. If the name didn't give it away. Now, you might have noticed that this nail is not like the others. It is wavy, it has ridges, and that's because I cut my finger off when I was a kid. I did make a video about that I can link in the cards. Anyways, this polish is such a chameleon because I feel like it's a blue polish with a green shimmer, but at some angles I see a lot of purple. I love its black and blue little glitters. I think it's actually black glitters, but with the base color, it can make it look blue. I'm not quite sure. One coat of this polish is pretty sufficient, but I just did 2 for good measure. And look at how it glows inside of the sunlight. I did some really fun nail art with this polish because it reminds me of a beetle wing, and I can link that in the cards too. Next, I have Wildflowers Lacquers. I'm a big fan of Space. I actually didn't buy this one myself. I got to be a guest watcher for them, and I was so excited by that opportunity, especially given how pretty this polish is. I was so happy to get to put together some swatches for them. I would describe this polish as a pink base with a yellow to green shimmer that runs through it, with a bunch of holographic glitters as well, ranging in, I think, 2 different sizes. I think I could technically get away with 1 coat, but I think 2 coats is better. I'm actually pretty surprised by the coverage of this polish, given that it's a lighter polish and it has a lot of glitter in it, but I guess it's pretty dense. Normally, I wouldn't gravitate towards a polish that's as busy as this, but I was pleasantly surprised with how beautiful this was in person, and I'm definitely curious to try out some more glittery polishes like this in the future. Ideally, it would have been nice to get some shots in sunlight to show off that hollow glitter, but it's been raining here again. I thought we were done with winter, but apparently we're not. Next, I have Vanessa Molina's True Story, and I feel like this could maybe be considered as an ugly pretty polish. I am particularly drawn towards this one because it reminds me of like a radioactive color, and I bet you wouldn't be surprised that I'm also attracted to the blue shimmer that runs through it. The flakies are so beautiful as well, and they have quite a range in size. I end up getting a really big one at the bed of my nail. I love a good glass flaky. I think Vanessa Molina's flaky polishes are so pretty and perfect for a butterfly manicure. I would love to have a rainbow collection of this formula. So far, I just have the green and I have a purple one. 4 more to go. Next, I have Dom's High Quality Nudes. I think technically you would consider this a blue base with a coppery magnetic shimmer that runs through it. It is so pretty. This polish I think is also quite opaque that you could get away with it in 1 coat, but I just have a habit of at least doing 2 coats. I feel like if I put just 1 coat on my nail, it then feels too thin, and I like having the extra protection of another layer. Also, since this magnetic is not in a jelly formula, you probably just need to magnetize the last coat of the polish that you do and after you put on your top coat as well. I did magnetize mine for about a minute, but I do feel like the line did not hold as strong as a jelly polish, and that's what I've been noticing. Does anyone feel that way too? Aside from that, I love that contrast between that orange and blue color. I definitely will be pulling this out around Halloween time. I think it would be perfect for that. Next, I have Bluebirds We Columbine Shipping. This is one of the polishes that originally got me interested in buying from Polish Pickup. It's a red shimmery base with a blue magnetic pigment that runs through it. And I would say at extreme angles, you could also see an orange flash as well. And again, this isn't a jelly magnetic, so I feel like just doing 1 coat here probably would have been sufficient, but again, I did 2. You probably only need to magnetize your final coat for this polish and 1 last time after putting down your top coat. This one also dispersed for me after a day pretty quickly. but it's such a pretty polish that even if it's not magnetized, I'm not mad. I forgot to mention that one of the reasons that I love Polish Pickup is because it gives you the opportunity to try a bunch of makers that you'd normally maybe wouldn't. So after I bought this polish, I started following their business quite closely, and they have so many releases that I'm just in love with. I really loved their Boo Bird collection that they did for Halloween. I know I talk about Halloween a lot. I really love Halloween. And I also love a really moody dark manicure as well. This polish I personally think is perfect for spring or maybe even winter. So these last two clips of this polish are at least 24 hours after magnetizing the polish and everything drying. So as you can see, the line isn't as sharp, but you could still see that shift a little bit between the two colors. It almost looks like liquid metal. Next, this is Sassy Sauces I Wish You Were Here. I really struggle with the puns. This was another one of those polishes that originally got me interested in buying from Polish Pickup. I feel like some of the themes really bring out the best in the creators sometimes, like it's all the polishes will just look good that month. Anyways, so this is a purple polish with a blue shimmer, but if you look closely, there's also blue flaky shimmery pieces in it as well. And this isn't just a purple polish, it is a thermal polish, so it transitions to an icy blue as well. Since this is a thermal polish, it does have a shorter shelf life if you care about its transitional properties. So I have been using this as a toenail polish for most of the year because I want to make sure I use it enough and get the best worth out of it. As you can see, these two polishes are quite similar in color. But again, this one does transition to an icy blue, so they're not the same. See, look, towards the bottom half of my nail, it's a little bit warmer, so it transitioned to an icy blue, but yes, because my hands are so cold all the time, it's normally this purple state. Next up, we have Sweet and Sour Lacquer's Take a Leap. I love this shade of green, and then throw this yellowy orange red shimmer in it. Gosh, it's so pretty. I know some people consider these pugly polishes, but I think they're beautiful. I don't think they're ugly. That said, if it did lean a little bit more chartreuse, I probably wouldn't like it as much. I think it's a perfect shade of green as it is. Personally, I think it looks decent in one coat, but I did do 2 coats just for the sake again of doing 2 coats. Did deepen the color a little bit. There was a popular polish last year called Salad Fingers, and I feel like this was one of those types of dupes. Or I think people have been saying inspired by a lot lately, so let's go with that. It's inspired by probably Salad Fingers. Anyways, I really love this color, and I could totally see it in my top 10 favorite polishes for the year, but we'll have to see. We're only a few months into the year. I think this polish would be great for a candy apple manicure, so maybe I'll have to do something like that for Halloween this year. How many times am I going to say Halloween in this video? And last but not least, my ultimate favorite. This is called Like the Wind from Great Lakes Lacquer. I love its berry colored base, and it does have a blue shimmer in it, surprise, surprise, but the blue shimmer shifts to green, which adds another layer of magic for me, which I just find so beautiful about this polish. I actually just ordered some more Great Lakes Lacquer polishes this morning. I'm super excited to get some more of those. I have a pretty small collection from them, and every single one of them is so beautiful. I'm not being paid to say this or anything, but Mariah's shop is currently open for pre-orders, so if you love Great Lakes Lacquer, it's time to get some more. I was actually on a no buy, so maybe don't listen to me. I don't want to encourage people to also break their no buys. Anyways, I think this polish is already beautiful in one coat, but 2 coats is the sweet spot for me. Of course, you could do 3 coats just to deepen the color, but I love doing this polish in 2 coats. I was really hoping that they were going to bring this polish back for Polish Pickup Rewind, because it's my favorite, but it ended up not winning the poll. Come Again ended up winning the poll, and I forgot to mention earlier that sometimes they'll bring back a second polish, the maker, and they'll sell that second polish directly on their website. So I think Mariah is going to be bringing back the greatest gift of honor to their site. Anyways, let me know what you think of this video. I've noticed that videos that I do swatches and talk about upcoming sales have been quite popular, so I'll try to do more of those as I go on. If you liked any of these polishes, or if you have any of them, please throw a comment down below. I'd love to know which one's your favorite, or which in your collection is your favorite. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll try to be posting more swatch related content and sale information in the future. See y'all next one. Bye!